In the small town of Hollow Creek, nothing ever really happens. People say it's quiet, peaceful, the kind of place where kids grow up and leave, chasing dreams in bigger cities. But for those who stay, there's an unspoken rule. Don't go near the woods after dark, especially not near the old Miller house. Clara Bennett didn't believe in rules like that. At 26, she was practical, skeptical, always looking forward. She worked part-time at the diner on Main Street, studied criminal justice online, and dreamed of becoming a detective. On August 17, 2022, everything changed. It started with a message. Just before midnight, Clara texted her best friend Jess. "Jess, I saw something tonight, something I can't explain." No other messages followed. When Jess tried calling, it went straight to voicemail. The next morning, Clara's car was still parked outside her apartment. Her bedroom window was open. Her phone was found on the floor, cracked, screen black. And Clara, gone. Police searched the area, questioned neighbors, posted flyers. Nothing. No sign of struggle, no footprints in the mud, just silence. They ruled it a missing persons case. Maybe she left on her own, they said. Maybe she finally got tired of Hollow Creek and took off. But Jess knew better. Clara wouldn't have gone without saying goodbye. Not to her mom, not to her little brother, not to her. So Jess started asking questions, digging deeper, and what she found didn't make sense, because Clara wasn't the first. In 1998, a boy named Daniel Reyes vanished from the same street. In 1973, a woman named Lila Grant disappeared after walking her dog near the woods. And in 1941, a family, mother, father, 2 children, were last seen leaving their home. Their house was found empty, doors locked from the inside, all of them gone, without a trace. Jess began to see a pattern. Every 25 years, someone disappears from Hollow Creek, always around the same time, always under strange circumstances. And now, Clara. Jess couldn't stop thinking about one thing Clara had told her weeks before. There are places that don't want to be found. What did she mean by that? Where had she gone? Jess needed answers, so she did what Clara would have done. She went back to the house, the Miller house, abandoned, rotting, but still standing. She knocked once, twice. Then the door creaked open. Alone in the dark hallway, Jess whispered into the silence. "Clara?" No answer. Only the sound of something moving upstairs. Slowly, deliberately, and then silence. Again. Jess stood in the hallway of the Miller house. Dust hung in the air like smoke. The silence was thick, the kind that presses against your ears. She stepped forward carefully, her flashlight casting shaky light across the walls. Old wallpaper peeled like dead skin. There were scratches on the floorboards, long, deep ones, not from furniture, something else. A door creaked upstairs. Jess swallowed hard and whispered again, "Clara?" No answer, only the sound of her own heartbeat. She climbed the stairs slowly. Each step groaned under her weight. At the top, a long hallway stretched before her. 5 doors, all closed. One of them opened by itself, slowly, like someone or something was inviting her inside. Jess stepped into the room. It was empty, just an old mattress on the floor. But there, on the wall, words carved into the plaster. She saw it. Jess took a photo with her phone. When she looked back at the screen, the words had changed. Now it said, "You're next." Her hands trembled. She backed out of the room and ran downstairs, burst through the front door and didn't stop running until she reached her car. Back home, she stared at the photo, again and again. The words wouldn't stay still. They kept changing. Sometimes they spelled Clara's name. Sometimes just one word, loop. Jess couldn't sleep that night. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw the house, heard the voice whispering. She saw it. So the next morning, she did what any good detective would do. She went to the library, and she started digging into the history of the Miller house. What she found made her blood run cold. In every disappearance over the last century, one thing appeared again and again: the house. Witnesses claimed it wasn't always there. Some said it only appeared at night. Others swore it moved, just a little, when you weren't looking. One man, interviewed in 1975, described it like this: "It doesn't belong here. It watches. It waits. You can feel it breathing." Jess read more, found police reports, old newspaper clippings, personal diaries, all pointing to the same place. Hollow Creek wasn't haunted by ghosts. It was haunted by the house, and now it had taken Clara. Jess knew what she had to do. She had to go back. This time, not alone. She called a friend, someone who understood strange things, someone who believed in the impossible. His name was Marcus. He arrived the next day, camera in hand, ready to document everything. Together they returned to the Miller house. The sky was dark. Clouds rolled in fast. As they approached, Jess noticed something different. The house looked bigger, like it had grown overnight. Marcus filmed while they walked up to the door. Jess turned the handle. It was unlocked. Inside, the air was colder than outside. The smell of mildew filled their lungs. They explored room after room. Nothing, just dust and decay. Until they reached the basement. The door was locked. Marcus tried to open it, but it wouldn't budge. Then Jess heard it. A voice, soft, whispering. "Clara?" She froze. Marcus hadn't spoken. "Did you hear that?" she asked. He nodded slowly. Then the voice came again. "Help me." It was coming from behind the door. Jess grabbed the handle, pushed. The door flew open on its own. Darkness poured out, thick, living, and then light blinding. Jess blinked. The basement was gone. She stood in a bright white hallway. The walls were clean, new. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. Marcus was gone. She was alone. A voice crackled through a speaker above her. "Patient 11C is awake." Jess turned around. There was no door behind her, just more hallway. She walked. The floor was cold. Metal. Doors lined both sides, small windows. Behind each one, a person. Sleeping, or unconscious. Jess peeked into one. A young woman lay on a bed, eyes wide open, staring at nothing. Suddenly, the woman turned her head, looked right at Jess, and smiled. Jess backed away. She kept walking. Another window. A boy, maybe 10 years old. He raised his hand and pointed. Down the hall. Jess followed. The hallway narrowed. The lights flickered. Finally, she reached a large steel door. On it, a single symbol. The same symbol she'd seen carved into the tree near the Miller house. The same symbol Clara had drawn in her notebook. Jess pressed her hand to the scanner beside the door. It lit up red, then green. The door slid open. Inside, a single chair sat in the center of the room. Attached to it, a helmet. Wires snaked across the floor. On the wall behind the chair, a message played on loop. "You are not where you think you are." Jess stepped closer. The helmet began to move, slowly, turning toward her. Then it spoke, with Clara's voice. "Jess, don't trust anything you see." Jess stumbled back. "Clara, is that really you?" Silence. Then, "This isn't real. None of it ever was." Jess's heart pounded. "Then where am I?" The helmet tilted slightly. "You're still in the house." Jess spun around. The room was gone. She was back in the basement. Marcus stood beside her, shaking her shoulder. "Jess, are you okay? You zoned out for a second." She gasped. "I saw her. I saw Clara." Marcus frowned. "What are you talking about?" Jess looked down. In her hand, she held something. A small metal tag, with numbers printed on it. 911C, the same number from the speaker. Jess's legs gave out. She fell to her knees. "We have to get out of here." Marcus helped her up. As they left the house, the wind picked up. Trees bent like they were bowing. Jess turned to look back one last time. The house was smaller, shrinking. Then it vanished, gone, like it had never been there at all. Jess didn't sleep that night. She stared at the metal tag, watched the footage Marcus had captured. But the strangest part, there was no footage of the basement. No record of them entering the house. Just static. The next morning, Jess decided to visit Clara's apartment again. Maybe she missed something. She knocked on the door. No answer. She used the spare key. Inside, everything was exactly as she remembered, except for one thing. A new note on the fridge. Handwritten. Don't go back. Jess's breath caught. That was Clara's handwriting. She searched the apartment, found the notebook Clara had been using, flipped through the pages, drawings, symbols, maps of the town, and then a sketch of herself, standing in front of the Miller house. Dated today. Jess dropped the notebook. This wasn't possible. She backed away from the table. The lights flickered. A low hum filled the room, then silence. Complete silence. Jess felt the world tilt, her vision blurred, and then black. She woke up in her car, parked outside Clara's apartment. Time, 11:47 p.m., the night she first went to the house. Jess looked at her phone. Text messages from August 17th, including one from Clara. Jess, I saw something tonight, something I can't explain. Jess screamed. She got out of the car, walked to the edge of the woods. The Miller house stood ahead, waiting, watching. Jess turned around. Her car was gone. Her phone too. She was trapped, in the loop, and somewhere, in another time, another place. A girl named Clara stood in front of the house, looking at a text message from her best friend. Jess, I saw something tonight, something I can't explain. Clara smiled and stepped into the dark.